point is, other than the business rules or exceptions which we discussed it, if you wanted to do any kind of automation, bringing certain informations from other transactional data or from other tables, that is where, or if you wanted to manipulate any data in the Vim text screen, so everything we can do it with like in the Vim, and that is something which we can achieve it with the concept called as a logic module. So this is one of the most important functionality in Vim. If any kind of automation we need to do it, we use a concept called as a logic module in Vim. Okay, so logic module. So now, how do we configure logic module and what kind of automation we can do it? So we'll see. We will see it further. Okay. So now, for the configuration, like for example, I'm going to the document processing configuration. Here in the document type configuration, if we expand it, then we have a logic module processing. If we expand this, then there is a logic module
Sanchit,
processing.
are you sharing the screen?
Oh, sorry. Now you can see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Yes, now we are able to see.
Okay. So like again, like I will show you somewhere. So we will go to the configuration, right? /n/opt/spro. There we have a document processing configuration, expand this. Then we have a document type configuration, expand this. Then we have a logic module processing. Okay, so expand this. So here we have a logic module processing. Okay, so logic module is something which we use it to automate the process, automate the specific field, and bring that information from other transactional data or from other tables. So that is where we use the logic module. Okay, so now if I just execute this, you can see so many values are available. Okay, so these comes as out of the box feature. Okay, so like for example, like we have a posting date. If I wanted to add the posting date automatically, add the text code from text rate, add SAP document type, determine invoice category, add vendor name from vendor number, add vendor address from vendor number. So these are all the standard logic module which Opentext gives to us. I think there are around 25 plus logic modules which Opentext has already given to us. Okay. Now we should understand what is the functionality, basically how can we use it, and if any custom solution comes in or custom requirement comes in, then how should we create the new logic modules and all, right? So now if you see here, like there are mainly like the first row is the module ID. Okay. The second column is the description. The third column is the class name. Okay. So basically, if I go to the notepad, now first step is create a module ID. The second step is assign logic slash not slash, put it in the bracket, class against module ID. Third, create process ID. Fourth, assign module ID to process ID. Fifth, assign DP doc type to module ID. Okay, so now here there are total 5 steps basically which we need to follow in order to achieve this functionality. Okay, now the first step is create a module ID. Okay, create a module ID. So this screen basically which you are seeing it, this is a module ID. Okay, so in the module ID, you are assigning the classes. Okay, so that's the second step is that assign logic against module ID. So which means the class is something basically that's a like coding, like where the code is written and where sorry, where basically every logic is available, that how to determine, like for example, add vendor name from vendor number. Okay, so so what does that mean? That I wanted to bring the vendor name automatically from the vendor master. Like you will in the VIM screen, you will enter the vendor code only, right? But I wanted the system to bring the vendor name automatically also in the VIM screen. Okay, so that logic to how to bring the vendor name from the vendor code, that is available here in this class. Okay, if any custom requirement comes in that they wanted to automate this certain process and all, then the same thing. You have to create a module ID, and against that you have to assign you have to also create a class, right? With the help of the ABAP team. ABAP team will write a code and and based on the logic, whatever you will provide to the ABAP team, and like the tables name, the fields and all, you have to provide it to them. So once that class is being created, you have to assign your class to your module ID. Okay, so there are other things also, like add currency from PO. So in the PO currency, whatever it is mentioned, we want that it should come automatically in the BIM indexing screen. Okay, add vendor number from PO. Okay, so these are the things basically. So these are some of the automations which is available. Okay, so the first step is to create a module ID. Second step is to create a class. Now, before I create it, I just wanted to show you some examples and I will show you how I will do that automation. Okay. Just wait for a while. I'm just finding some example. GPO underscore. Okay. I'm now trying to create a new document. Okay. So this is a 7AX2. This is what we discussed in the starting also. If I wanted to create a new document with the existing doc ID, so we can use this transaction code. Okay, I will copy from. And now here, what I will do is, mm, this is a PO number which we are going to pass it. We'll create a new PO number also in ME21N. Now this particular transaction code, I don't know what background you are having it. This is something basically which might be a Vim consultant can do it, but if they don't know it, then there is a separate SAP consultant with whom you can ask them to create some purchase order and perform the goods visit. Okay, whenever you are doing the testing, so you can always take the input or help from your team. Yeah, shit. This is the IDS server, so people change so many values. They don't change it, they just delete it. That's the biggest issue. Hamburg. Okay, so I am able to create one purchase order. Now, if you guys are doing practice, okay, so what you can do is you can come to the ME21N, okay, and then go to the item overview and scroll towards right, and this is a purchase order, okay. This purchase order you can enter it, which I created it. Then you will able to create a new one, and then you can just save it. Okay. So for the practice purpose, you can do this. Like you can create your own purchase order just by going to the ME21N and just enter your PO number here. Okay. Now I'm performing the goods receipt. Item okay. Then check. Enter storage location. Check. Everything is good. Posted. Okay. Now my PO is created. My goods receipts are done. Now what is the next step? So after that, the vendor sends the invoice, right? So now we have to process the vendor invoice. Now this is the where basically we are processing the as a vendor invoice, and here I will pass the PO, the same PO number. Okay, and I will delete all the 3 line items. Delete. What? Okay, so these line items are also deleted. So now what we are doing is um, so here basically we are creating a new DP document by passing all the information, whatever is being passed, like document date, vendor reference, vendor number, PO number, company code, gross invoice amount, document currency. So everything we are just passing it. Okay. So it looks okay now. Let's submit it. Let's see. Okay. So here comes 4466 document IDs get like it's created. Now if I search work view 466 execute, click on the process tab. Now if you see here ZPO underscore NR, okay. So the DP document type determination which I assigned it, so the same DP document type gets determined here, ZPO underscore NR. Okay. Now everything looks okay. Okay. Now here, just one question for you guys. Why I can't see the simulate option here? Guys, we discussed in yesterday's class why we are not able to see the simulate option.
We enabled that option under process.
We
Enabled that, no? Disabled that.
Maybe you have disabled.
Disabled.
so like this is the problem statement. This is one of the requirement which has come from the customer. How to fix it? Where should I go? I believe you guys were there, right? In yes, like yesterday. I didn't join the class. Okay. We have a index screen options which we discussed it uh, yesterday. So we will go to the same DP document type. So the DP document type is ZP underscore NR. So we'll go here, select this index screen options. The current process type is 429 AP processor, and here there is a uncheck for the enable simulate. We will save this, go back and execute it. So here now we can see the simulate rules option, invalid text details, and then PO invoice approval required. That's a custom one there. Okay, now if you guys see here, the line items are showing as blank, right? Nothing is coming, correct? So, so basically, like how to fix this? Because since the line items are showing as blank, now my requirement is that based on the purchase order, whatever I'm passing it, okay, system should give me the line items automatically, right? Because the GRN is already done, so let the system should give me the line items details and all. Okay, so this is my requirement. Now, how to how can we achieve this? So that is where, as I mentioned, that we use a concept called as a logic module. Okay, now again we will go to the logic module. Okay, now there is a one standard logic module for this. Like we have a this one header underscore PO. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this logic, this class, okay, and create a new entries. New entries, I will put it Z underscore item underscore 011 in gr line items automatically. Okay, this is the class name. I will save it. Save here. Okay, so my tr gets created. So now what I did is I created a new module ID. I assign a class basically against your module ID. So that is the second step, which I did it now, right? Create a module ID and then assign logic against your module ID. The third step is to create a process ID. So I will go to the processing definition. Okay, now here I will click on the new entries. I will put the same process ID, whatever we have it in the module ID. The reason is that it will just sync up everything. It is not like that it is mandatory to put the same nomenclature, whatever you did it while creating the process ID, but during the mapping, it becomes more easy. So that's why I always propose to have the same process ID. Okay. So then bring gr line items, press enter, save, select this row. Now third step is to create a process ID. This is also done. The fourth step is to assign module ID to your process ID. Assign. So I will double click on here, click on new entries, counter 10. Okay. Now this is a very important screen. I will enter module ID, activate it, done, save. Now, what is the meaning of counter here? Now, for example, like here, we are creating a module ID, right? And assigning a logic against module ID. So that's a one-to-one mapping, right? One module ID, one logic. Then what is the meaning of creating the process ID? The process ID basically which we are creating it so that we can assign multiple modules IDs also against your process ID. Okay, so like I will just create one as a header and then assign multiple logics into that header so that like if I want to determine, I don't need to manually assign DP document type to each module IDs. So this is a process ID. Okay. I don't need to, like, if there are 25 module IDs which we created it, I don't want it. I should assign 25 module IDs against to your DP document type. Okay, so that becomes very hectic. So what we basically do is we create a multiple module IDs and then assign all those module IDs to one process ID, so that like I will assign on like only once basically I need to assign to my DP document type. Okay, so I will show you that screen also. But the major purpose is that we should understand that we can uh, club all our module IDs to one process ID. So this is also something with the option is there. So this screen basically which you are seeing it right now, this is the same screen so that you can add the 20 counter and add another module ID, 30 counter, add another module ID, like that you can create, you can do that. Okay, so that is the main reason. Now, so counter, then module ID we have it, and then we have to make sure that we are activating it. Okay, if you will not activate it, then that is not going to trigger at all. Even though you did all the configuration, if you will not activate it, this is not going to work. Now the another column basically which you are seeing it, process start, rerun rules, start plus rerun. This is very, very important to understand. So as I mentioned, that the logic module is something which we use to automate the process, right? Or automate specific field, right? So here basically there is an option that when exactly do you want to do the automation? When the Vim document is getting created at that point of time, or once the Vim document is created and you are processing it, then at that point of time you have to you want this to be triggered, the logic to be triggered in the rerun rules. Okay, so here when we are saying it that in the starting, that is a process start, and after the Vim document is created, and then after that we wanted to do some kind of manipulation after apply business rules, then this is the option like rerun rules. Or if we want that it should be triggered at both the places, while creating it initially and also after clicking on apply business rules, then again then we have to select both start plus rerun. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I will just make it a start plus rerun as of now, and I will save it. I will come to the I will show you even like how it is being difference, okay, differentiated. So I will show you. Then the next step is, so this is the fourth step, right? We assign the module ID to your process ID, this one. Now the fifth step is assign your DP document type to process ID. What DP document type which we are using it? Which TP document type we are using? We are using GPO_NR, right? I will copy this, activate by constant, press enter. Now here it is asking for the process ID. So the Z item underscore 011 basically, which we selected it, press enter and save. Okay. So now all my 5 steps basically which I need to do it, right? So that is which I need to do it in order to enable the logic module. So that is done. Now we'll see whether is it working or not, right? Now that's a question. So now for this, now what I mentioned to you guys that we have a two options when this logic module can be triggered. The first option was at the initial stage when the VIM document is created. So this is the VIM document is already created now. The second option is that once we click on the apply business rules, relearn rules also, which we say it, then also it should be triggered, right? So now everything is fine. I will try to click on the apply rules and see line items are blank right now. Okay, it should, the main expected result for us is to get the line items automatically. Okay, I will click on apply rules and whether we see that the things are working or not. Okay, execute again, go to the line items, nothing is coming here. Okay, the purchase order didn't come automatically, the purchase order information. So which means that some information, something is wrong there. Now what is wrong? Now that is something which we need to identify now. Okay, I don't know. I think I assigned a long class. I think it should be this. Okay. Now let's see again the same thing. Click on apply rules. See, can you see now? The line items has now come automatically. Correct? Guys, any question, any confusions, anything?
Sanchit, I have one query.
Yeah,
Suppose like as a AP processor, we have received one invoice, whereas that time this GRN was not done. So
right,
we will refer to the info provider for GRN details. Okay.
correct.
And info provider has created the GRN. So in
Right.
such scenario, automatically it will populate, or do we need to manually select?
That's our next topic. That's not something basically we even reached it there. Here we are talking about the automation where the GRN is already done. So how to bring the line items? That
No, no.
is
I mean,
something basically
GRN
we
also that
discuss.
info provider has created. Na, so automatically will it populate or?
Yeah, that's what I will come to that point. That automatically it won't come because when we use the refer option, it's a different thing. See, just try to understand. I'm talking about the apply rules. I'm not talking about the refer option here, right? When we click on the apply rules, this logic module gets triggered. Which you are talking about the that is something which we use it in the background execution of the process type. So that is something which we will discuss it in the like as a next topic. Okay, so that is
Okay,
not
sir.
related to the logic module. Okay, so here the logic module basically, so there are two places where when the this logic module gets triggered. First is at the initial level when the VIM document is getting created, and the second thing is once we click on the apply business rules. Okay, so now here automatically this PO line items are coming. Now, for example, if I go to the processing definition, okay, and I will change it to process start. Now, will it work? Will it still work? Like if I delete this line item, save it. Okay. Now, if I click on apply business rules, will the invoice this line item comes automatically? Let's see. Click on apply rules, refresh, open it, line items. Can you see now? Nothing is coming. The reason is that now I'm telling to the system that this logic to be determined only at the initial time stage, at the process start, not during the apply business rules. Now, if I click on the rerun rules, if I select the rerun rules only and press save button, then line items is not there, right? Click on apply rules, refresh, execute, go to the line items and see. Automatically those line items are coming. Any questions, anyone on this logic module? Okay, silence means no. Just one thing, basically, logic module is one of the most important topic. Okay, without logic module, you cannot work at all in the VIM. So please do the practice. Try to understand the concept. What is logic module? Because this is one of the most important tool, and majority of people don't understand about this concept and all. So that's what I'm just emphasizing it. Focus on this logic module. This is one of the most important thing, because in your normally any kind of enhancement, you will use the logic module concept. Without logic module, you cannot work on any kind of enhancements in BIM. Okay, because every company wants to do the automation. So mostly you are going to use this concept more frequently whenever you're working on any projects. Okay. So, so this is all about the logic module. Now the next topic basically which we have it is a background execution of the process type. Okay, which I think someone just mentioned about it. So we will discuss about it, but first let's post. Sorry. We need to correct this. Just a minute. I'm just trying to post this invoice because there is simulate options are not showing here. So let me fix this also. Expected duplicate. Okay, I don't want PO invoice approval also. Okay, now let's try to post this. 466. It's not posted. Display log. Allow posting periods for company code. So posting period issue. Hmm. $432. So here I am trying to, I will try to add this option. Apply business rules is not showing here. So I will add a new process option. 432. Okay, click on apply rules. Okay, let me do one thing. Okay, so here system is giving me posting period error. So I will change the current system date, save it, click on apply rules. Let's see now. It's still not posted. Oh, balance error. So it is of 10,000. Okay, perfect. Now if you see here, the invoice is now being posted, okay? So which we can see it in the all completed, or we can check it in the VIM analytics. 466 stock ID, which he just posted it. So if you see here, the invoice is being created, right? And this is being posted. Okay, Now the same thing, like okay, so now we are able to post the invoice. Now we'll take the same example, okay, and use that concept so basically now we will discuss about the background execution of process, right? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take 10 minutes break and then we will start it further. Okay, on the new topic.